well as improving. I thank you so much. The mic is yours, honey.
Right. All right. Haven't seen you in a while. We got to chat soon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Black CEOs. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope everybody's recovered from all the snow we got. It's just a sprinkling, but sometimes the world shuts down when a little sprinkle of snow comes in certain areas. But I'm back for day two today, and I'm just so excited to be here. My topic for the last 2 days have been being married, being in business, and building wealth. So, yesterday I talked about the secrets to being married and being in business together with your spouse. So, today I will be talking about being married, being happy, and building wealth. I do want to say singles don't tune out because a lot of the principles that I will talk about today, you can take advantage of them too. And a lot of the principles that I will talk about today, you know what? We're familiar with a lot of them, but a lot of us are not taking advantage of them. And I do want to also point out I am not a financial planner, strategist, accountant, attorney, none of those things. These are things that we all can do, whether we are a financial planner or not. And so, who's this presentation for? It's for if you're married, if you're dating, if you're engaged, if you're single and you want to get married someday. It's for couples who are on a mission. It's for couples who want to build wealth, and it's for couples who want to be and stay happy. Let me start out with just a few facts or stats that I found, during our studies over the years. We run across so much information, and I have so much to share today. But let me just give you a few facts that I found. There was a small study that was done to uncover what is the number one topic that caused the most disagreement among newlyweds. And of course, you guess it. You know what it was, right? In the first and third year of marriage, it was money. Now, what was so funny is that they never said what happened in the second year. I guess they were getting along in the second year. But anyway, another one is 91% of couples agree that it's important to talk about money. But do you know that only 26% of them admit that they just avoid the topic altogether. And only 51% of them discuss how they're going to manage the money. We also found that couples who get and stay married, they can have as much as 4 times the wealth of their single or divorced peers. And then the wealth of married couples, it increases 16% each year of marriage. Now, one of the key is staying married, right? And so this is not just because couples combine their income or because they share their expenses. It's not about that. It's a combination of several factors, and we'll talk about most of them, a lot of them today. But one thing that I also found in my research is that it's the more affluent. Well, actually, I want to say this first. Do you know that getting married has drastically reduced in the United States? Like, people just aren't getting married anymore. And what I found in some of my research was that the more affluent, educated, and more religious Americans, they tend to get married. And this gives them a starting advantage. And the more affluent and educated and those who have faith are more likely to divorce. We hear all the time people saying, divorce rate is 50% and it's even higher in the church. Well, that's not what I found in my research. If you're affluent, you're educated, you have your faith, then you are less likely to divorce. And then one thing I found was that those who do divorce tend to see their wealth fall dramatically. And it leaves them worse off than singles and people who've never been married. But marriage, you guys, can be a beautiful, beautiful partnership with your spouse, especially when you combine your gifts, your talents, and your support. Today, we're talking about building wealth, we're talking about money, but it is not just about money. For those of you who don't know who I am, Barrett gave me a really nice introduction, but I cannot introduce myself without introducing and talking about my husband also. You see, because we are one. Okay, you hear me? We are one. I told everyone yesterday, I am still madly in love with my husband, and I have been on my honeymoon for over 10 years. And y'all, that's no joke. If you ever are around us, like truly around us, you will know that that's true. I have to say, I know you guys are going to laugh, but I know one day my mother was like, you two act like you just can't pee without one another. That's just how close we are, always sitting up under each other, always talking, sharing, laughing, wandering off. We do our thing. But just to share a little bit about us, we are the parents of 4 adult children. You guys, I'm so happy to say that our kids are doing so awesome and amazing. We're so proud of them. We are best-selling authors. We have 2 books. We're working on our 3rd and 4th book. The first book is Don't Get Married If. And the second book is 40-Day Journey to the Marriage of Your Dreams. You want to know more about them, they're on our website, marriagebuilttolast.com, or you can look them up on Amazon. We are speakers. We are coaches, we are entrepreneurs, and we are marriage and relationship pathologists. Once again, I'm going to explain to you what is a pathologist, right? It is somebody that's, pathology means the study of, and pathologists usually study different things, but one of the main things originally is disease. Well, in a relationship, why do couples come to you for any type of help or coaching or counseling or therapy? It's because there is some type of dis-ease in the relationship. So James and I, we help couples with that dis-ease, but we study not only the traditional things that go on in a couple's marriage and their relationships. We study, let's talk about this. The top 3, number 1 is finances, not necessarily in that order, but finances, intimacy, and communication. And so also, James is a body language expert, and I'm an emotional intelligence or EQ expert. So we study not only what the couple is telling us, but we are observing them at the same time. We're studying their body language and their emotions. And so we have a discussion with them about that. But you guys, this is our passion. This is what we do. This is who we are. And, people ask us all the time, and, why are we so passionate about this? And why do we do this? And I have to tell them, I said, it's something that God gave us. It wasn't something that we planned to do. It wasn't something that was just like on our mind to do. Or, I remember before we got married, I told James, I said, honey, we're going to do something with marriage. I don't know what it is. I don't know when. I have no idea what it looks like. And so it was prophesied over our life several times. And so now we're doing it. But we are on a movement. We are on a movement, you guys. We've started a global movement to just really take back the way that we've allowed the world to distort marriage. That's why marriage is declining. That's why people aren't getting married. We want to get it back to the way God intended it to be, where couples are united. They are connected. They are in covenant with God, and they are doing the things of God. They are moving in his will. They've got mission. They've got purpose. They've got vision. And if you want to be a part of that movement, go to www.marriagebuilttolastmovement.com, or just go to Facebook and go to Marriage Built to Last Movement. And that's the numeral 2. If someone can type that in the feed for me, that would be awesome. Marriage Built to Last Movement, the numeral 2, .com. And so we're on that mission. And we want to get back this couples back to really growing and sustaining and having a wonderful, happy marriage, because we truly believe that there are a lot of great marriages out there. We meet couples who have great marriages all the time. And we believe that every couple can have one. And so we want you to get on that bandwagon. And so on our topic today, we want you to know that marriage has an immense economic impact in the world. And married couples are I want you to know that getting married, it does not make you rich. It's the certain outcomes that are related that can make you grow and become wealthy. Couples have to take advantage of the economies of scale. And what does that mean? Cost advantages. And we're going to talk about all of that in just a minute. But one of the smartest, bestest things couples can do is to learn how to plan their money. Now James, like, we don't like that word budget, but learn how to plan and budget your money. You can do it. It's so super, super important. So I'm going to share with you 5 secrets to being married, being happy, and being and building wealth. And it's all about combining and sharing. And so when a lot of people think because you're married, you're sharing everything, but that's not the truth in every relationship. Some couples are just cohabitating. They're married, but they're cohabitating. They're living in the same house, but they're not connected. They're not a team. They're not together. And today we're going to talk about how you can just really become a team and see, not just when I say wealth, it's like I was talking on the Black CEO Morning Show this morning. Your health is your wealth. Your happiness is your wealth, your well-being. But today we're mainly going to talk about how to share what you have and build wealth. So the first one we're going to talk about is shared expenses. Okay, so we know that when we get married, usually we combine and move into the same place to live. So we're combining, we're combining our residences, right? So now we don't have to pay that other rent or that other mortgage payment. What are you doing with that money now? But we're going to talk about that a little later. So you're combining your residences and you're combining all of your non-fixed assets like your food, your utilities, and things of that nature. And then if you both have a job, you really should be having a discussion about your health and insurance that you have on the job. Like a lot of couples he has his health insurance and life insurance over there on his job, and she has hers. But you guys, you need to look at combining those things. When you combine it, you have usually you get to save more money. You pay less when you put those things together as a family. And then you're combining your fixed costs, things like your mortgage and then your car. You know what's really awesome is like when you have a car and you have no car payments. What are you doing with that money once your car is paid off? What if you were to just have one car and you share it, if that's possible? I know it's not possible for everyone, but have you thought about it? This is not just about two can live cheaper than one. It's bigger than that, you guys. It's about putting on your thinking cap and finding ways to make your money work for you. So the secret number 2 is savings and investing. Now, again, we all know about these things. If you do have a JOB or even if you own your own business, are you investing in IRAs, 401ks, and the other types of savings on your jobs, stocks, bonds, money market accounts, CDs? And you know what I found, or we found in our research? Young people aren't investing the way we did back in the day, the baby boomer days and before. They're not saving the way that we did. There's a new type of way of growing your money these days. It's a new way on the market. I know a lot of you have heard about it. It's the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and all of those things. These things are happening. People are taking advantage of these things. What are you doing to build your savings account? One thing that we tell couples to do is, when's the last time you took inventory of your money and everything that you own and how you can decrease your costs? And then take that money and build your savings. Start an emergency fund. Everybody should have an emergency fund. There's so many people that don't have an emergency fund. What do they say? You should have 3 to 4 months of your income stashed away in an emergency fund? Right. How many of us are doing that? And then what about retirement? I heard them talking about on the Black CEO this morning show about all these their grandparents and parents who are elderly and they're retired and they're enjoying life. But guess what? You don't have to wait until you're old to retire. You really, really don't. If you use some of these principles, you can retire early. So, and then also, when you're married, you have more options when you do retire. If you've socked away money, and you have more money with Social Security. There's options when you're married. When you're single and you retire, you get Social Security, whatever you put in. But if you're married, you know, and I'm going to talk about this a little later, is that, you know, you can get retirement based on your spouse's income. If they made more, why wouldn't you take theirs versus yours? You know, I don't want to get into the details of it because, again, I'm not a financial planner. And then, you know, you should be saving. A lot of couples, you know, they save their money to do something with it. Like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are you saving for? Are you saving to raise children? Are you saving to buy a home? Are you saving for a vacation? The key to saving isn't just to go back into your lifestyle. If you're just going to save and put it back into your lifestyle, then it's wasted. Now, should you reward yourself? Of course you should. Of course you should. And then you want to maximize your investing by using any extra leftover once you go through your finances, your expenses with a fine-tooth comb. Did you know that couples making $100,000 a year who invest 25% of their income, which, you know, most of us barely invest 5% or 10%. But when they do that, if they earn 6% on the investment, do you know you could have over $2 million in 30 years? And you know what I found, that when you're talking to young couples and you talk about them saving and investing and having, you know, $2-3 million in 30 years, they think that is forever. They like 30 years. I want my money now. Okay, well, you can build up millions of dollars now, but you're going to have to sock away a little bit extra. You're going to have to do a little bit more sacrificing. But you'll be surprised at how fast 30 years comes around. And then one thing that I want to say, you want to grow that gap between what you earn and what you save. It can make a big difference. Now, the third secret to growing and building your wealth is your income. Yes, when couples get married, they combine their salaries. If both couples are working, whether it's they own their own business or whether they both have a JOB, 9 to 5, I call it. You know, you're combining your salaries. But have you ever thought about when you get married and you're combining your salaries and you both were each living off that one income? Have you ever thought about what would it look like if you just lived off of one of your incomes? You know, I think about when I got laid off my job in 2014. And so we had one income and we thought it was going to be a struggle, but it wasn't. But can you imagine if when I was working, if we had just saved my entire paycheck? If we could live off my paycheck when the man out there, you know, the corporate America decides to lay me off, then we could have did it, doggone it, when I was working. And so it's something to think about when you get married. How can we take most of this money and save it and sock it away? But so when you get married and you're combining, you know, your salaries, and then also another key way that the income helps couples grow wealth. A lot of people don't realize this. Married men make more money than single men. And someone asked me, how is that? I don't know why companies pay married men more, but that's in the research that we found. That's what happens. And then you know what, when you do have one person working on one income, because a lot of couples do get married and only one has one income and one decides to stay home to take care of the household. But even that is a plus. It's a blessing because you can balance the household that way, because you can take advantage of financial benefits in that capacity, because one is working towards their career, they're working towards promotion, they're working towards, you know, building a lifestyle for you guys, while the other one is home building the lifestyle at home. They're either taking care of the kids, they're taking care of the things around the home, and they're making sure that we stay within our budget. They're making sure that things get done at home. So they're supporting the spouse who works at home. Don't belittle someone where they have one income and the wife stays at home or the husband stays at home. It can work that way. And then another way to build wealth when you're looking at income is having multiple streams of it. We always hear it. You know what I ask couples when they're talking about their finances? What's in your hand? Like literally everyone on the show today and listening and watching the broadcast, what's in your hands? Like literally, what's in your hands? Like, what can you do? You know, like whose life can you touch with your hands? What can you create with your hands? You know, can you design things? Can you build things? Can you grow things? Can you help people? Like, we got to look for multiple streams of income, other ways to bring income into our home. And then we all know that one of the greatest and fastest ways to grow and build our wealth is to own your own business. I'm not going to go in that topic. I could go on and on and on about, working for yourself versus working for someone else. Oh my gosh, it's the best thing. Not going back to a 9 to 5 is one of the best things I ever did in my life. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But build your own empire through paying yourself. Build wealth by working for yourself. Working for yourself. But even when you're doing that, money work for you, you guys. What are you doing to make sure that your money is working for you? Now let's talk about the fourth way that we can build wealth in our marriages, right? Is the division of labor. It kind of goes back to when you're working on one income. But the division of labor simply means that each party in the relationship assumes the role that he or she does best. We talked about this when we were talking about couples or partners who are in business together. What are you good at and what is your spouse good at? If your spouse is better at finances, just because you're the head of the household, men, does not mean that your wife can't be over the finances if she's better at budgeting it, better at planning it. Well, what's the most productive plan for your family? It doesn't matter who's the greater breadwinner. What are you doing with the bread you're bringing in the house, right? But marriages are able to divide up their responsibilities in financially beneficial ways. You get to decide, if you're both going to work or who's going to stay home and who's going to work the business and who's going to take care of the household responsibilities. But another way that the division of labor, or when couples work together to assign the best roles in their marriages to make it work, because it's not just about the money. When couples are married and emergencies come up, it's less devastating if one loses their job, because usually they can still sustain. If you're there to support each other and help each other, you'll work it out. Don't let the trials and tribulations that come in life be a division in your marriage. And then sustain illnesses. When someone in the marriage gets sick, so you can take care of each other instead of having to pay money to hire someone to come in and do that for you. So that is another way that you have an added savings, an added blessing. And then the fifth and final way, secret to building your marriage, building your wealth, and building happiness into your relationship is rewards. Rewards. If you don't have to worry about your finances, and I'm not saying money makes you happy, that is not what I'm saying. But you're going to have less stress. You're going to have more time to just focus on other things. And you'll be able to build that happiness into your marriage. You're going to have more time with your family and your friends and your loved ones. Did you know that couples who spend quality time together, especially if it's weekly, that they are 3.5 times more likely to rate their relationship very happy if you were to give them a survey and ask them about it? They are. Spending quality time together is truly important. Now, quality time happens to be my love language. So if you've never heard about the 5 love languages, pick it up and find out what your spouse's love language is so you'll know what makes them happy. Know what makes your spouse happy. It's not about you. It's about teamwork. It's about your spouse. It's about putting each other first. And then when you're talking about that quality time and the things that make couples happy, I want you guys to know, we talked about this yesterday, date night is super, super important. I'm sorry, I just can't emphasize that enough. Date night is important. You know why? Because just like I was telling you guys, it fuels the fire. It fuels that romance. It builds memories. You've got things that you can reminisce about, talk about, share. You're out doing things together and you're enjoying life together. I think yesterday someone thought that I said that we do date night once a month. No, I was saying couples should plan a date night. If you're so busy in life and you think that you don't have time to spend time with your spouse, I was telling you to get a family calendar, put that thing on the wall so the whole family could see it. And there should be a big heart on the calendar. And everybody in the household, kids, mom and daddy, everybody should know that heart means that's mom and daddy's time together. Quality time. That's our date night. Whether that is every week or once a month or whenever you can squeeze it in. James and I, we do date night every Friday night. Tonight is our date night. I'm so excited. I get excited about Friday nights. I get excited because I know my husband's going to be home with me the next 2 days. And when don't let there be a holiday on Monday, I really get excited. He's like, what are you so excited about? I say, cause you're going to be home with me for 3 days. I'm so excited. But tonight for date night, we're going to visit some friends. We're going to hang out with some friends. We're going to go to their house and chill and have a little fun. But it's date night. But those things make a difference. The other things to build rewards into your marriage is physical touch. Whether that's intimacy, whether that's sex, whether it's hugging, whether it's kissing. Yes, building wealth in your family. It has a lot to do with building happiness in your family. It has a lot to do with building health in your family. These things are important if you're going to build wealth. What is so great about having money if you're sick or if you're unhappy? It's not going to make you a whole lot of difference. But you want to build these things. I tell couples, create some rituals in your relationship. We got all these bad habits that we do in a relationship, not talking to each other, ignoring one another, catching an attitude. You got this funky way of throwing your head. We got these habits. Create some positive rituals. One of my favorite rituals, excuse me, what we do is that every morning, my husband, when he goes to work, I'm still in the bed sleep. I mean, like I'm knocked out. I don't hear him get up, get dressed most morning or take a shower, any of that. But you know what he does? Every morning he comes and he sits on the side of the bed. He puts his arms under me and lifts me and he hugs me. We pray together right there on the spot, hugged up. And then he kisses me, tells me he loves me, and we say we love you. And he goes off to work. That's our morning ritual. I wouldn't trade that for the world. But wealthy marriages, yes, you have possessions of value, which includes money. But also wealthy marriages, a great relationship with your spouse starts with all these other things and your faith. Let's not forget about your faith. That's a key important part of building your wealth in your marriage, which is your health, it is your money, it's your happiness. And so again, that was the 5 keys to secrets to building wealth in your marriage. It is rewards, it's division of labor, it's salary, it's saving and investing, and it is sharing expenses. But let's just talk about how you can really make that money work for you. And I want to call it a financial plan. Okay, I want to talk about a financial plan. Since marriage contributes significantly to wealth building, it only makes sense that you work at your finances, especially since finances are the #1 source of stress in relationships. You got to be totally open about money. And honestly, this all starts before you get married. So I'm telling you, like I told you, singles, keep your ears open. If you are single, you want to get married one day, you're dating, you're engaged, you got to talk about finances before you get married. And, we talk about this in our first book, Don't Get Married If. It's all about having those tough conversations before you get married, because, you get married and you have all these expectations. James always talks about this. You want the big house, you want the car, you want to go on vacation, you want all these things. You get married, you never looked at each other's credit reports, you never knew what each other's credit score was. And buying a house is way off in the future because you got to fix all this stuff. Talk about it now, start preparing for it now and fixing it. And also so that when you get married, you'll know what you got to work on together. I'm not saying fix it all before you get married, but know what you got to work on when you get married. But that book is so that you talk about as many of these hidden expectations that you have before you get married. So let's talk about it. Talk about it, couples. But when you're having these conversations, it opens up just a greater range of financial strategy and how you can build your wealth. So I want you to consider adding a money night. A money night. You know how I told you to have a date night? You should have a money night also to plan your future goals and fund them. And you know what's interesting? I got an email from someone that goes to my church. She's a financial guru. And I don't think she'll mind me saying her name. Her name is Sean Holland. And I was watching her video yesterday, and she was talking about these things about planning your future. Now, she's a financial planner. If you're looking for a financial planner or strategist, she's the one to contact. And so she in the video, she showed how, or either maybe it was in the email, how she and her family, they all have a money night where the whole family sits around the table and everybody's looking at their financial plan. They're discussing the household money. They're discussing money overall. They're all talking about their goals with their money. That is so awesome. That just blew me away. My family, we have family talks, and we talk about our goals and our future and our plans. We have family talk nights, but and we talk about money. Now we do talk about money, but I like that money night to plan your future goals and how you're going to fund them. If you don't, it's just like, and we're going to talk about vision in a minute. If you don't have a vision or a plan for your money, how do you know where it's going, right? So when you have let me give you a few tips on when you have your money night. This is time where you can track your budget. Like, what have you been doing with your money for the past year, or even since you've been married? Like, what have you really been doing with your money? And then you want to talk about discussing some investment strategies. Like, where can we invest? How can we invest? How can we strategically do some things with the extra money that we have? And then you want to review some of your important financials and expenses that you have, such as your taxes, your insurance, and these other things that you're paying out. You know what you should do? I want to challenge you today. Pick up the phone and call everybody that you owe. I don't care if it's your car dealership, your life insurance, car insurance, anything that you owe, and find out how you can reduce your costs. You'd be surprised that when you talk to your car insurance company, how they find ways to help you save money. Or you call your mortgaging company and they tell you how you can reduce your interest rate. You've got a bill and you call them and ask them, can you reduce the interest rate on your credit card? You'd be surprised how you can find ways to save money. I double dog dare challenge you today. Yes, I said double dog dare. I love saying that. To make some phone calls and find some ways to save some extra money. Now, the key is, when you find that extra money, what are you going to do with it? I want to say, when you're having your money night, planning your future goals, set some short-term goals and some long-term goals. But just take the time to go through everything, all your expenses, all your bills, everything with a fine-tooth comb, and find out how you can clean up some of that stuff. And and I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions, right? How important is this? Like, do I really want to put my money here? Like, do I really need to spend my money on this? Do we really need this monthly expense? And then all of these things, it's going to help bring you closer to your goals. You guys, you got to work together, because working together is going to open new horizons and bring you some new perspectives when you sit down and talk about your money goals. Couples don't get wealthy through any magical formula out there, but it's through using solid financial principles. When you know where you're going, where you want to go, guess what? Your journey becomes that much easier. You guys, you do not have to make a ton of money to become wealthy. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about taking what you got and making the best of it. Work with what you got. And if you don't know how to make it work, I encourage you to find a financial planner. I'm sure there are plenty of financial planners in the Black CEO group. Somebody do a shout out and ask, who's a financial planner in this group? And hook up with one of them, because if they're in the Black CEO group, you can trust them to get the job done. A phenomenal tribe. So find out who's in the group that can help you with your money if you really want to build wealth. And then I want to, I was listening to Myron Golden on the Black CEO show the other day. And you know what he said? He said, if you want to be rich, do what the rich people do. That's my other challenge to you. Find out what the rich people are doing. What do rich people do to get rich, to stay rich, and to continue growing to be rich? Find out what that is. And now we're just going to talk a little bit about vision. Because we talked about this a lot yesterday too. You know, in Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain so you can run with it. So you can run with it. Where are you running to? If you don't have a vision, where are you running to? Write down your vision. Write down your vision for your marriage. Write down your vision for your finances. Come together and communicate and share your hopes and your dreams. I told you yesterday, dream big. Dream big, you guys. Dream big. What is your greatest desire? What is your biggest dreams? And as you're talking about these things, keep the lines of communication open, you guys. Don't be critical of one another. Really listen to each other's ideas. What your spouse may want to do, it may seem hard, it may seem difficult, but it may be the best thing right now for your marriage to get you to the next level. Listen to your spouse. That's why God gave them to you, so that you guys can strategize together, so that you can be on the same path, so that you can be a team. The Bible says, can two walk together except they agree? How can you go in the same direction if you're not agreeing? I want you to right now to just close your eyes. Everybody listening, close your eyes. And I want you to visualize the kind of couple that you want to be. What kind of couple do you want to be? You want to be happy? You want to be healthy? You want to be wealthy? And then I want you to conform your lifestyle to achieve those goals. What can you do? Marriage is more rewarding when you're on the same team. It is so much more rewarding when you're on the same team. And the sooner you get started, the better off you're going to be. I want to share a quick story with you. One year, and I don't remember when it was, but our daughter was a young teenager. We decided that we wanted to go on a 6-month sabbatical. I don't know where we got it from. I think we heard someone talk about doing like a 3-month sabbatical, but we decided to do a whole half a year, 6-month sabbatical. Actually, we were in a couples group and they agreed. We all agreed we were going to do a 3-month sabbatical, and we all agreed what we were going to save our money towards. Well, James and I decided that we wanted to save our money towards going on vacation and only using the cash that we saved. Like, we didn't want to dig in our savings. We didn't want to use credit cards. We just wanted to have cash to totally go on vacation, right? And so we sat down, we talked with our kids, we talked with our daughter, especially who lived at home, and we let her know what our goals were. And we decided for 6 months, we weren't going out to dinner unless we absolutely have to, because we were on travel and the only way we could eat. Hello, there's music playing. I'm not sure where the music is coming from. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, Barrett? Barrett, can you hear me? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure what happened. Can you hear me on the phone, anyone? Hello? I think I will hang up and dial the number back. Something has happened. Give me one quick second to call back into the show. Bear with me, you guys. Bear with me, you guys. Don't hang up. All right, we're gonna get back started. Oh, the music is still on. So, Barrett, are you guys there? Huh.
Hello?
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're back on.
Yes.
Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. All right, so we're back live on the show. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I didn't touch the phone. The music just came on. Does that mean my time is up?
I didn't touch anything either. I don't know what happened. So
wow. All right. So I'm almost done. So let me just give me a couple more, about 5 more minutes. So we went on this 6-month sabbatical, and for 6 months, I was talking about how James and I and the family went on a 6-month sabbatical. We didn't go out to dinner, especially not an expensive dinner. If we had to go pick up a quick meal, we did that. We didn't go to the movies. We didn't attend parties and celebrations, and even some weddings we didn't attend, because you know what, that meant you had to buy a gift, and we weren't being stingy. We had a goal. We were on a mission. We didn't buy clothes and shoes. We were very wise when we were shopping in the grocery store, because one of my favorite things is to be able to go in the grocery store and buy what I want, the healthiest things, the best things, and not have to worry how much it costs. But during this time, we made sure that we were very wise and frugal in how we spent money in the grocery store and all of that. And you guys, we were able to go on vacation as a family and spend nothing but cash. Oh, and one of our goals during that time too was that we were going to buy an extra bag, suitcase, something, a duffel bag or something, we said, and we were going to use it to bring back our goods that we bought while we were on vacation. And we were able to do that. And we were able to put $100 cash in our child's hand. She was young then, so $100 was a lot of money to her. But we did it. We did it. We made a big sacrifice, and it worked. And guys, it wasn't difficult. It wasn't all that hard. But you got to just make a decision that your future, your goals, your dreams is bigger than your now. It's a matter of a decision. It's a lifestyle change. But it's so much more rewarding when you're on the same team. And then I tell you, as you go along and you're doing these things, you're making these sacrifices, don't just wait for the big kaboom, the big win at the end. Celebrate your small wins as you go along. Celebrate the small things so that you don't get discouraged, so that you stay encouraged. And that's why you're a team. You encourage each other. You're each other's accountability partners. So you're doing this together. You're in it to win it. So do what it takes to win. So right now, I want to give you a gift. You know, I told you, we're givers. I love giving things away. So I want you to text the word love to 443-201-7723. And if someone can type that in the group for me, that would be awesome. But I'm going to give you a free ebook that gives you some information about how to keep your relationship strong, how to keep it happy. It's actually called How to Stay Out of Divorce Court, okay? That's what the book is called, How to Stay Out of Divorce Court. But it's going to give you some really good tips on how to build your marriage, how to stay happy, you know, how to make it work. So text the word love, write that in the group, please, someone, to 443-201-7723. And I will give you a free gift. And again, I told you we would give us yesterday. I told you guys, and my husband was like, you did that? Oh my gosh, we're going to be bombarded. And yes, we're bombarded, but that's okay. If you want a free 30-minute consultation, send us an email to info@marriagebuilttolast.com. Now that's the numeral 2, not the word TO, no. marriagebuilttolast.com. Send us an email and we will give you a free consultation. So last but not least, I want to talk about your legacy. You guys, did you know that your legacy does not start after you die? Your legacy starts right now. It starts now. In Proverbs 13:22, it says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. You want to pass down all these values, these core values that you're learning about your marriage and your building and your finances down to your kids. So this will help them with their own personal development. It will help them reach a certain level of fulfillment. It will help give them more opportunities to have success in their life. And then you know what? This legacy is going to continue to their kids' kids. That's what the Bible talks about. A good man leaves a inheritance to the children's children. They're going to pass it down to their kids. And you're going to keep building your legacy. It goes on and on and on for generations because you've taught them well. You've taught them how to do it right. So, and also on the Black CO this morning, someone said, keep the wealth in the family. That's right. If you build wealth in your family, you're passing down, you're going to always keep wealth in your family. It's going to go on and on and on. Again, I just want to say to you, it's not about the money you make. It's all about what you do with it once you get it. Getting married and staying married, happily married, is a wonderful way to increase your wealth. But getting married with the idea that it's going to make you rich, it's a terrible idea. I want to see everyone who desires to be married get married. I want to see everyone who is married be happily married. Like I told you, we're on a mission. We're on a movement. Join the movement, you guys. MarriageBuiltToLastMovement.com. But we're going to take over this world to get it back to where God intended it, to build healthy, strong, happy marriages, happy Black marriages, because this is the Black CEO Morning Show. As a matter of fact, James and I, we're trying to put together something for National Black Marriage Day called Black Marriages Matter. If you want to know more about it, go over to our private group, Marriage Built to Last Movement. Black marriages matter. So what are you going to do to be a part of the movement? What are you going to do to build your own marriage? What are you going to do to build in happiness? What are you going to do to build in wealth? Again, I'm Cynthia Green with Marriage Built to Last. And I thank you guys so much for allowing me to share with you the last 2 days. Let's make it happen.
All right. Cynthia was so good. It just brought music to our ears. It was just that good. That's how good she was. She brought music to my ears right in the middle of when she was talking. So Cynthia, thank you so much for that today. You were incredible. You were incredible. Hey guys, I know y'all got questions. I know you got comments for us. We want you to hit *2 right now. Hit *2 right now. We're going to get you on with Cynthia in 1 minute, but I want to go to Vanessa Braxton right now. Vanessa, what you got for us? Hello? You guys hear me? Oh, no. You guys hear me? Vanessa?
Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, you must have had me on mute because I was off.
I did, because I heard some background. I did mute.
Okay. Yes, Cynthia, that was an awesome job. You did one heck of a job, in reference to building wealth in the family, in the marriage, and that's one of the things that I definitely stress to people. When you are married, it's actually a blessing in disguise, or it's really truly a blessing. But you're able to bring all your resources together, and it will allow you to make a decision on what one person can do to bring money in, and what the other person can, hold things down, stabilize. Especially if you have a business, one person has a business and the other person's gonna work. You can, and then change that direction later on. And then also talking about bringing in the family, such as the kids, passing it down. I'm such a big believer in that. It's passing it down to your children and then your children's children.